That's right, Daniel. I'm on the scene of an additional missing persons case.
Apparently it was the day he disappeared. He was leaving his house.
The operations team has called these anomalies unidentified blackouts.
Variant labs?
Yeah, some kind of laboratory, I guess.
I'm sorry, we were just talking about not Janine. Are you now focusing your attention on my outfit choice?
Well, yeah, you're built like a highlighter right now. I kind of have to.
Okay, well, first of all...
And now, after hours of surveillance, a few history searches, and a truckload of city secrets within Zion itself, you're tuned into the only channel that leaves reputations bleeding red in a world of emerald green. From the rumors about reputable businesses to the workers who were fired under false pretense, this isn't just a show, nor is it just cancel culture. This is X7X.
You think you're safe? Think again, darling. Digital footprint. We've got a map and a microphone to every mess you've ever made. Every single secret, even the one stuffed deep within a hole in the desert, will be dug up for the fan-favorite purpose of your entertainment. There's no filter, no mercy, and absolutely no boundaries. If you came here for wholesomeness, you're lost. This is Zion's most brutal broadcast. Glam, gossip, and better hair than your situationship. Welcome to X7X. You may not know me yet, but trust me, I've been in every room from here in the studio to way back when North Zion wasn't a jungle of financial mistakes. Except at that point, I was a snot-eating brat. I'm Falynn, assistant, curator of X7X, and the reason half of Zion triple checks its privacy settings. I know where the bodies are buried, who buried them, and what they were wearing when they did it. But my job isn't to talk about it. That's someone else's. I'm just here to make sure the spotlight hits the right shade of scandal. And speaking of scandal, wrapped in red hair and a smile you should totally trust, it's time for the queen of X7X to reveal herself, your host, the one, the only remaining Kylo Cooper.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Falynn. Well, look who's tuned in again. My favorites, my loyal, scandal-sniffing little shadow pack. If you're here, it means two things. One, you're smart enough to question everything. And two, you adore a little chaos. This is where we keep it raw, real, unfiltered, unapologetic. The stories that official sources won't dare to touch, we welcome them, as if they are a distant family. If you at any point thought posting your deepest, darkest information to the internet was a smart move on your end, then you must be new here. Because the second it's out there, it's mine, yours, theirs, ours. And sweetheart, I don't just find the skeletons in your closet. I drag them out, hand them a mic, and let them do the talking. So welcome back, my darlings. Let's dig in. Okay, so I know some of you are probably so over me talking about, you guessed it, you know who. The big, bold, blinding white neon letters burning a hole through the desert sky. Variant Labs. Well, buckle up, babes, because on today's episode, I've collected a few folks, real charmers, who I think are going to crack this thing wide open, like a can of worms.
Doors opening.
Ugh. Seriously? I was only half joking, Kylo. Why are you bringing a vagrant into our private studio?
Variant jobs.
Which again, I remind you, I just cleaned for the 5th time this week.
Oh, Falynn, lighten up. It'll be a steady interview. Anyways, I forgot your name already. What was it again?
I never gave my name. I only said I'd sit down in your little studio here for 5 minutes for $50. Never said I'd give a damn name.
Well, that's perfectly dandy. No names needed. Let's get down to the core root of this, though. What can you tell me about Variant Labs?
Variant jabs, variant yabs, variant schmabs,
Variant Labs, yes. The place you were complaining about on the street, yelling at bystanders to not trust. The place you told my lovely assistant Falynn about, remember?
Falynn? Oh, yeah. The woman with that huge nose. Right.
Huge Hey, watch your tongue, street scum.
Yeah. Now then, Variant Labs. Let's see here, Variant Labs is not to be trusted, simply stated. Variant Labs is, a madhouse. Yeah, it's a madhouse, all right.
Are you serious? Is that all you got?
Well, yeah, that's the point, isn't it? They got those guys in suits, talking like snakes, smiling like vultures with teeth. People disappear, streetlights flicker, feral dogs won't go near the damn place. But I could say the same thing about the city we live in too. Zion's corrupt, wholeheartedly.
Anything else?
Well, now that you mention it, my mama didn't raise a quitter. And that's why I never quit drinking. Now, about my payment.
Yeah, sure. Just get out of my studio.
I didn't want to be on your dumb show anyway. All y'all do is whine.
Doors opening.
See, what did I say?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to you. Apologies about that, folks. Not everyone we bring on the show is going to be cooperative. Anywho, let's continue. Our next guest is straight from the sidewinding streets of East Zion, in a little mom-and-pop owned pharmacy. Hopefully he'll be a little less money hungry.
Wait, we're supposed to pay this guy?
Not unless we have to.
Doors opening.
Well now, how are we feeling today, Doctor?
Langley, just Langley, and technically speaking, I am a pharmacist.
Okay, Langley. Tell me, what does a local pharmacist know about a much bigger corporation like Variant Labs?
Well, Kylo, it's quite simple. Most major health advancements come out of the bio ward, sure, but the bigger these institutions get, the more people will just become a disposable tool. Somewhere along the way, they forget what it means to truly care about the actual work. They play it safe. They follow the crowd. They do only what they're told to do, and never question a thing.
Okay, and where does Variant Labs fit into this?
We're getting there. My point is, people need to carve their own path. The bigger the company, the deeper the secrets. I, however, chose a different directive. Owning and operating my own pharmacy gave me a whole new perspective on how those companies really work.
Like mentally?
No, physically. I have access to larger client profiles, deeper connections, more information, and unlike some of these drones, I'm not stuck in that submissive mindset. The one where you see shady details and just shrug them off because your boss says so.
Ooh, Langley, you sneaky bastard. You're looking at private information and gawking at it?
In a just yes. Take the brilliant mind of Dr. Brine, for example. You remember him, don't you, Kylo?
No. Does he work for Variant Labs?
No, but he used to. For a while, Dr. Brine was one of the lead procurement officers at Variant. He personally arranged shipments that were severely classified, to the point he begged me not to take a second look. But here's the thing. Anytime someone places an order from a rare herb or item from outside the country, it has to go through a smaller, independent business. That's just how things work in this godforsaken city. Thanks, FaZe. So, since he chose me to place the order, I got access to his logs, but I was a little nosier than most.
And? What was in them?
Get this. Butterfly wings.
Butterfly wings? Strange, but not uncommon.
But that's just it, Kylo. These weren't fabricated, printed, or or even made out of some cheap plastic. They were taken directly from a source that harvests them by hand, torn from live butterflies. And the worst part, Brian and Variant knew. They knew exactly how that company operated and still ordered over 60 vials.
What? That's disgusting.
Yes, that was my reaction too. Why would Variant Labs need butterfly wings?
Well, maybe I'll ask Brian. Have him on the show next.
How are you going to do that? Are you good with a shovel?
What do you mean?
Last year, Dr. Brian left his position at Variant Labs unexpectedly, during a time where he was supposedly working on a big project with Adrian. At least that's what he told me during a conversation over a shipment and, well...
Well, what?
They found him in a ditch. Just outside the Zion border, not even a week later. Dead is the safest and most ethical word I can use right now. Lately, the local authorities are still working to determine the cause, but the condition he was left in, it's unsettling to say the least.
Well, that's comforting. I'm not even quite sure how to respond to that. Do you think Variant...
Human. I don't know what I think. At the end of the day, it's Zion. So who's really going to care about a dead scientist?
Chick, the Dolly Loggins do life and humans, and they even get to meet the kids. Here's Michelle's Chick, the Dolly Loggins do life and human development, 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 human